Can you just name some functions? Few functions, one or two. Anyone? Can you hear me? Just give it a guess or just give it. I mean, I won't judge your answers. What are the functions of muscle?
They help us move our body parts.
Okay. And anything else?
They exert the required force or momentum which is required during the movement of, say,
Okay.
knee or something.
Yeah, that is correct. And anything? So the joints require blood supply. You know that, no? When we need the blood supply, and how does how this blood supply is working? Do you know that? The temperature regulations and other functions. So these are the functions which are associated with muscle. Okay. Um, so what I will be talking is initially the muscles. Muscles are actually the part of the body which allow a person to move, speak, and chew. I mean, you know that they control the heartbeat, they control the breathing and digestion, and they regulate the temperature too. So, do you know the muscles which are causing the movement? Like, let's say, the movement of arm. Do you know which muscle causes the movement of arm? So this apparently is a discussion. Okay, this class is apparently a discussion. It's not a regular subject class. So you can just say, I mean, we are just discussing over here. Like which muscle allow our arm to move?
Some muscles like
Voluntary muscle.
biceps, triceps.
Okay. So anything else? I mean,
Blood muscles.
why? Okay. And what about the leg? Do you know quadriceps? So let's. I'll just share you my screen, and we will just get to know the terms. Like rather than triceps, biceps, we will just get to know the what you call scientific names of each muscle. So it can get a bit boring, but just try to memorize, and you will. It will be easy for you once you memorize. I mean, once you see this. So let me share my screen first. Okay. Mm, okay, fine. So can you see my screen?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay, so this is apparently the musculoskeletal system. So you can see the muscles over here, and like it's boring. The names are really boring. This arm, the major muscles involved in movement, arm for the arm, deltoids, biceps. So you mentioned this biceps brachii. That's what you have to mention, like not just biceps. So and other muscles, and over here like quadriceps, pectoris. Have you are you familiar with these names? I mean, if you studied biology in plus two, you might have come across these names. I'm not sure about it. So this is just boring stuff. I'll just go through it, and we will see some animations. Okay, I mean, you mentioned no the biceps, so you can see here. So let's see an animation over here. So this is arm movement. So here you can see how the triceps brachii. Here the triceps, you know now which is triceps. So you can see how it is being helping for the arm movement. Okay, so you can just Google it and find it to yourself. But I'll just introduce you how these things are going. And the muscles have got an origin and they have got an insertion at each joint, as you know. And muscles act on the synovial joint. That's where the momentum, sorry, the joint moments are occurring at the joint. So the forces, muscle forces creates the moment, and that's how it is. And here abduction, adduction. Are you familiar with the abduction, adduction? Can you please reply? These motions, movements, abduction, adduction. Are you familiar with it? Have
No.
professor taught you? No. Okay. So these are just movements, muscle movements. Okay, abduction. It is abduction is called moving away from. It's just moving away from the body's midline, and adduction is moving towards the midline. I'm just giving you an introduction so that it will be easier for you to what you call know later. So this is apparently the uh, leg. So we are just abduction. It's movement from the midline. Okay, and movement towards the body's midline is adduction. So these are the muscles which are causing the abduction and adduction. So you can see it over here. Gluteus medius,
Sir, are
all
you
those.
sharing
Uh-huh.
something? Because it's
Can
not
you
visible.
see? Okay.
No, sir.
Sorry. Okay.
No, sir.
Is it visible now?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Sorry.
Not-
Yeah. Okay.
Right now it's visible. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So here abduction. So what is called abduction? Abduction is all about moving away from the body's midline. Okay. So you can see the half of your, like, not half, like one leg. So one leg getting moved from the midline of the body. That is called abduction. And adduction is moving towards the body's midline. So these are the muscles which help us for abduction, and these are the muscles which help us for the adduction. And pronation and supination is another motion which is provided for the arm. So you can see, like, whenever you are keeping your hand on a table, you are actually pronating and supinating, like whenever you do such a movement. So this is pronation and supination motion. Pronation is rotating the forearm so that the palm is facing backward or down. So you can imagine that using this animation. So for every moment, muscles are required. Just imagine, like, we are not having any muscles. So what will it be? Like, you won't be able to move, isn't it? So that's the thing. So muscles take part, like, take a crucial role in movement of the body. And elevation and depression, these are the up and down motion, moving a body part up and down. So you can just see, like, just imagine our chin. Sorry, that's not the one here. Mandible elevation and depression. Okay, you can just see while chewing, we are just doing this motion. So, but we never think of the muscles which are taking part in elevation and depression. So you guys are with me, isn't it? Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So we are just, I mean, I'm just
Yes,
discussing
yes,
these
yes.
things. I mean, these movements are associated with muscles. So every motion has got some muscles which are associated with it. And pronation and retraction, these are just movements. Okay, so you just have to just see right now, because uh, today is just discussion. Don't worry about the syllabus or anything else. Just see and get familiarized, like, what these are. So you will just acknowledge these muscles. Like, they are required. Just imagine if one of the muscles fails, you won't be able to chew or you won't be able to walk properly. And so just imagine, like, you are playing football. So you might need to kick the ball in some angle. So you have to play with your angle, isn't it? So that's when you need the muscles for inversion and eversion. So it's all about turning the sole of the foot inwards. That is inversion. Eversion is called. Eversion is all about turning the sole of the foot outwards so that you can kick the ball in some angle. You got what I meant? Hope you got. So, and similarly, dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. You will come to know once professor teach you as a systematic manner. Right now, I'm just discussing. When you are moving the angle up and angle down, that's all about dorsiflexion, and there are muscles related to it. So I will just keep the muscle attachment and the activation apart. And now I will have you seen the shared file? I have shared a file named inverse dynamics. I'll just introduce you to inverse dynamics. Are you guys with me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so can anyone just name some movements which I just mentioned so that I will just feel good that you guys were listening. Just name 2 or 3 movements. I won't mind. Like even if you couldn't name every name, just 1 or 2 or 3.
Abduction, pronation.
supination.
Okay. So pronation and supination, what does it happen? What do we see? Pronation and supination.
Like the upper body goes back and forth.
Okay, and that is pronation and supination.
So pronation supination is basically rotation about an axis, like for
Okay.
the ankle or like for the ulnar, like the elbow joint, like the second joint of the elbow joint.
Okay, and what about abduction, adduction?
Abduction is moving away from body midline, and adduction is moving towards body midline.
Okay, correct. What about what is the motion associated with chewing? Chewing. While we chew, what happens?
Elevation and depression.
Okay, correct. So you guys were listening. I'm happy now. So what do you know about dynamics? I mean, inverse, forward dynamics. Have you guys heard about forward dynamics or inverse dynamics? Just give it a guess. Wild guess. I won't judge your answer. Forward dynamics. Just give it a guess. Like dynamics is all about like kinematics.
Sir, I think from the motion of the joints, we'll be estimating the accelerations and velocities.
Actually, yeah, it's almost correct, but try better. I mean, try better. Just think like kinematics, kinetics. So forward dynamics. I'm just giving a clue. Kinematics, kinetics. What is forward dynamics? So from kinematic data, we get kinetic data. I mean, just forces and moments. That's all. Okay. So from the positional data, from almost correct. I mean, Pawan almost gave the correct answer, but it's almost correct, but not.
For forward dynamics, we give joint moments and forces to calculate the joint angles, and for inverse dynamics, we give joint angles to calculate joint moments and forces.
Yeah, correct. That is correct. So what we actually do here is in inverse dynamics. So I will just share my slide so that you will get to know it properly. I mean, I have shared the file over here in intro to inverse dynamics. I'll just share the screen. So what happens is, so you can see, na? Is it visible? So this is the same file I have shared it in the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in forward dynamics, we are it's almost like kinetics to kinematics. We use the forces and torques and get the motion. So you might be familiar with like you're applying some force and you're calculating the acceleration, velocity, and the displacement. And in inverse dynamics, we are actually the input is these what you call position data, the displacement, the acceleration, velocity, all those stuff, and we get the forces and torques. So why is it important in our course, this inverse dynamics? Can anyone guess why inverse dynamics is important?
Sir, it is because using methods we can only measure the movements of the joints and legs. We can't measure directly the forces in the joints and moments in the joints. So we need to inversely do it from the motion to the forces and torque.
Okay, so that's why the assignment 1 was given to you. So from assignment 1, you might have come across this what you call measurement techniques. So in those techniques, what we measure actually? What do we measure? Can you say? Just give it a try.
Kinematics.
Yeah, we get the position data. Okay, and using those position data, we find the forces and torques which are generated at the joints. But one of we during the measurement we calculate one force. What is that force? That is there is a particular name for
Ground
that force.
reaction force.
Yes, ground reaction force. So using that ground reaction force, what we actually try is we actually go upwards, like from the bottom of the body, we go upwards and we calculate the forces and moments which are experienced by each joint. So why do we need forces and moments at each joint? What do we need? What do we do with it? Can anyone say? Like just guess it.
We can analyze the musculoskeletal motion, and if it is like a disabled individual suffering from a stroke or ACL or any other disability, the different patterns of motion can help identify.
Okay. Any other guess?
Like we can also find the maximum force which the muscle can sustain, the failure point.
Yes. And what
Sir,
about
Sir, if there is some abnormality and like there is some less or more than normal force in a particular joint, then we can design the prosthetics in such a way that the force is corrected.
Okay, that is good answer.
Sir,
any other guess?
Sir, we
Yes?
can using the force and the velocity can find the energy consumed during the motion.
I have never thought about that. I mean, I will just think about it. I mean, can you repeat once again?
Using force and the velocity or torque and the angular velocity, we can find the energy consumed during the motion.
Okay. So can I ask you one thing? Have you come across metabolic cost?
Yes, sir.
What is metabolic cost? I'm just asking, like from now over, just for you to answer. What is metabolic cost?
The energy used by the muscles to for motion.
So how do we measure it? Like it has been
We measure oxygen consumption, I guess.
Oxygen intake.
Okay, that's clear. So let's start with the inverse dynamics. So I guess, I mean, half of my work is done by now. So as I mentioned, it's all about process of deriving the kinetics from the kinematics. That is easy as that. And in the longer version, a process by which forces and moments of force are indirectly determined from kinematics. It's just using different mechanical terms. That's all. It's all about kinetics from kinematics. That's all. And why do we need such? The motivation, as you have already mentioned. It's perfect. Understand and quantify the forces produced by muscles, ligaments, and bones via non-invasive instruments. This is the most important term, non-invasive instruments. What is invasive and non-invasive? Hello?
We actually perform, kind of surgeries which have potential of harming an individual, but in non-invasive process, we use maybe exoskeletons or something similar to them, which are used outside the body and cannot harm an individual.
That's correct. So it's all about like we find the positional data, we find the kinematic data, and we use those to find the forces and moments produced at the muscles and ligaments, and we find the failure, all other scenarios. I mean, we simulate them and we find where the failure can occur, what is the optimal design which a implant should have, so that it can sustain. So it's clear, no? So force and motion and force measurement. So we already mentioned we have to record the accurate kinematic properties of the motion. So how do we measure? That's assignment 1. So we have different measurement techniques, in video or infrared based motion analysis. And what do? We use that kinematic data to find the forces and moments. And as I mentioned, ground reaction force is also measured, which is obtained from force plates. So when we step on the force plate, we get the ground reaction force. So that's all. And motion analysis. interaction of muscle contraction across several joints. Okay, so we know that there are several muscles, okay, at each joint. So some researchers consider all the muscles. Some researchers consider few muscles, few important muscles. Not all muscles are actually actuated in every motion. So we know pronation, supination, what are the muscles which are important. So are you getting me? Like each different movements have got different vital muscle activations, like abduction and adduction. So there are muscles related to abduction and adduction. Some muscles which are crucial at abduction and adduction may not be crucial for other motion, other movements. So is it clear to everyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So inverse dynamics can only measure the net effect of internal forces and torques across several joints, because we are actually measuring the forces and moments at each joint. We can't. So we are actually measuring the net effect at each joint. We are not finding the components at each directions or something. We are finding the particular net effect of muscle forces and other forces, ligament forces maybe, and we just find the net force and moment acting at a particular joint. So that's all, and we know joint kinetics, equivalent joint forces, something. So model reduction, what I already mentioned. So we reduce the model into something so that it is easy for us to do the simulation. So here you can see the complex anatomical structure is reduced to a force and moment at the particular joint. So you can see a couple acting, MF, and a force acting over here. So it's nothing like as I already mentioned, force from the triceps ray and bone-on-bone forces. All these ligament forces are actually reduced into a force angle, F angle, M angle. That's what we get from inverse dynamics. So what is the limitation of inverse dynamics? I'll just minimize it so that you can just give it a guess. So what do you think? What do you think as a limitation of inverse dynamics? Give it a guess, like just give it a guess. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? No, just give it a guess.
Yeah, so when we do model reduction,
where the
when we do model reduction, so there are a lot of bones in between the last bone and the initial bone. We kind of minimize it to a single body, but
okay,
in between there are some bones who have some certain degrees of motion, although there are less. So in that case, if they are in dynamic motion, you cannot model them as a static body and just take the force from last frame and put the reverse reaction force to the last frame. It won't happen like that. So there will be some errors.
Yes, errors are obvious. Like there are a lot of, few errors which are associated. And are there any other limitations? Like just think of the assumption, which we already mentioned. Like just think about friction. Are we taking into consideration? Hello. Just think about friction, where the friction can happen. Hello, can you hear me? Just give it a guess. Just give it a guess.
So friction can happen in ground reaction force as well as between the muscles in the joint reaction force as well.
Okay, and what about bone friction?
Between bones also there will be friction.
Okay.
So force will be created in between the joints, right? I mean,
yes.
So in that part of joint reaction force, friction can come.
Yeah, but we can't calculate it.
Yeah, we can't calculate it.
Yeah. So what about approximation of body segment parameters? Like just think, your body mass index may not be same as some other student in the class. Okay, so body mass index also plays a crucial role at finding this particular joint reaction forces and muscle forces. So How do we do the simulations? It is patient specific most of the time. Every patients may have different patients may have different joint reaction forces depending on their body mass index. Okay, sorry. Yeah, body mass index. So isn't it body mass index? BMI? Body mass index. Yeah, body mass index. So that is what matters too. And the bone length also matters, isn't it? Your femur bone length may not be as same as your friend's femur bone length. Don't you think so? Or is it same for everyone?
No, sir, it's different.
Yes, it is different. And your what is your shoe size? It may be 10, 9, 8, 7. So it's just giving you an idea. The moment may differ at each joint. So that's what I am trying to say. The body segment parameters we are actually approximating it. We are just taking some approximation and we are just keeping it as it is. As we do. For the instance, if I am asked to do some simulation, okay, some simulation of femur. We are using a femur implant, and what is the data which I take? I can't just think of, come up with the data. No, there has to be some universal, which have been used by some other researchers. This because every human being have got different body segment parameters. So universally there is a database, okay, database which is being accepted by most of the researchers, and we use that database. So that is called HIP98 database. So we use that, and HIP98 database has got all these joint reaction forces and muscle forces. And how did they get these values output? So they conducted experiments on 5 patients, if I am correct, and 5 different patients have got problems at the hip joints, and they had to undergo arthroplasty, total hip arthroplasty. So their hip neck was removed and implant was fixed into it, and they were asked to do this measurement. The measurements were done on their different gait cycles. So while walking, running, and during each different movement, different joint reaction forces, muscle forces were calculated, and we use that for simulation. So is it clear? There can be some few doubts over this particular topic. Is it clear to everyone? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No doubts over this thing? Hello, can you hear me? Did the class get bored? Did the class get boring or what? Hello, is it clear? Just give me an answer. It's just 5 more minutes, okay? Nothing more. The class will end in 5 more minutes. Everyone can get happy, be happy. So it's clear, no? The inverse dynamics. It's just an introduction to inverse dynamics.
Yes,
so my senior will teach you much bigger inverse dynamics. Much boring inverse dynamics. So I'm just giving you an introduction so that you won't get much bored during the next lectures on inverse dynamics. You will be preoccupied with these things. This is nothing wrong. This is fine. You will be familiar. Okay. I think it's fine for today. Can I just ask someone, what did you learn today? Anything new?
We learned about the movement of different. We saw that what is muscle, what is their function. Then we learned about the different movements of muscles like abduction, adduction, pronation, supination, and so on. And finally, we learned about inverse dynamics. What is inverse dynamics and what are its limitations?
Okay. Yeah, that is good enough. So I think we can end the meeting for time being. professor will join you on Wednesday. So thank you. I guess you enjoyed the lecture. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay
thank
then.
you.
Okay. Have a
Bye,
have a
sir.
nice day. Yeah. Bye bye.